Okay, here we are back on it. Uh, I think we are recording. Yes, we are recording. Um, I couldn't rotate the format. No, like it had come out vertical. It shows like that. For now, I just wanted to upload this today itself. Now, I started this yesterday. I wanted to upload this today itself. I'm turning 74 today, from 73 to 74 today. So I wanted to do it on this day, a special day. So I didn't try to spend time trying to turn this around, but I will do that eventually. When I do that, I will give the link connected to this somehow, and you can see my work in the kept in the right axis then. Okay, now I'm going to fill this up, and I'm going to do a little bit of work here before I come to detailing here and go to the water, so that this area can be drying while I'm working on the other areas. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to give a medium tone here, slightly brighter medium tone. I might make it slightly darker uh, as I am working on it. Okay, that comes out well. I'm using a little bit of yellow ochre to give a brighter color out here. Okay, uh, the colors seem to be warmer when they come near us. Okay, and the colors seem to become cooler, bluish, as they recede from us. And the colors will also become lighter as they recede from us. One, also duller. It will become dull and blue. The details will be less. So those are the indications showing that the object is receding from us, going behind, going away from us. Okay. Uh, Now I'm going to do a shadow in many of these areas. I'm going to be mixing a little bit of burnt sienna, Prussian blue, and green to get the darker tones. I am going to have darker tones here, and add to the detail that we already have. I'll be adding detail more as I get to those areas when it's totally dry. See, the direction of the brushstroke varies, the size of the brushstroke varies. That is how you create an interest and make it look as if it's organic, as if it's natural. Now I'm going to go below to the shadow areas. have to keep seeing. I don't have somebody to look after the shooting, the recording. So I have to, from time to time, I have to go back to my camera, mobile camera, and see if it is working well. All these areas will demand at least a tone. Okay, two more tones will be a better idea, but at least one more tone or shade or tint. Tint is not possible, of course. Yeah, I'm sorry, but it will demand a shade or a tone. Okay, so we will take that into consideration while we are making it dark. We won't make it very dark. It will be just dark enough to take one more depth. Some plants here, some foliage, uh, which can come up to the water level. We won't add too much detail because this is closer, this area is closer, so we need the detailed workspace. Like we need a space where we can show a lot of detail. Okay, so we will have to keep this slightly subdued. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to wash this area with a little bit of green and take away the sharp edge. I thought I'll have one more island out here, but that seems to be unnecessary. So I'm just going to wash this area. The edges will be taken off. Yeah, the edges are taken off. And I'm going to take that away with a thirsty brush. You know what a thirsty brush is? A damp brush, not a wet brush. You wet your brush, take it out, and wipe it in a cloth so that the brush is damp. Okay, you keep your brush on a wet area, it will suck out all the dampness. Uh, See, it's damp out here, right? So I squeeze out the water, have a damp brush, and I keep it like that. It takes away all the water, including the color that is in the water. Okay, so that's a very useful tool. We call it a thirsty brush. That's a very useful tool. I'm tempted to go to this area, but I think I'll have to complete that before I come to this, because if I don't complete that, I won't know what is happening here. Okay, so I have to mix a bluish brown, which will be like an olive green, but I want it to be a bluer tone. If I mix a little bit of crimson or vermilion to it, it immediately takes a brownish blue tone. That's exactly what we want. We don't want too much detail, but we don't want it to look blank. We want it to have some sort of a texture, a character whereby it looks as if there is a dimension to it. There are sand bars and some stones. But since it is very far away, they won't be very visible. Okay, so the details are less. That is what we do to show depth of field. In a perspective, so we have the three kinds of perspective. One is the linear perspective, which is objects of the same size seem to be smaller, seem to become smaller as they recede from us. And then we have the contrast perspective, where objects seem to lose their details and contrast as they recede from us. Yes, we know that. And here is the color contrast, whereby the colors seem to become lighter, bluer, and duller, meaning, sorry, dirtier. Not a good word, but yeah, that's the idea. It seems to become dirty. Okay, now I'm going to go to a little bit of detailing out here, as if some detailing is visible through the mist. We practice this. We practice large trees, large trees with light and shade. As we practice that, we get the idea of how to get the character of trees, different kinds of trees in different areas, how to get the light and shade right, and we reduce that and create these details. Nothing much to be seen, but at a glance, it looks as if there are trees with light and shade, branches coming out, foliage, so on and so forth. Hmm? Watercolor tends to dry lighter, so we make it slightly darker than what it should be. In such sensitive areas, these are very sensitive areas, you make a mistake, then you will have to correct it. Correcting is not a very pleasant thing to do. Uh, so we try to get it lighter than what we want and then keep adding to it. That's exactly what I'm doing. I'm making it lighter than what I want and then I keep adding. Not too much, huh? We don't want lot of detailing, but some detailing has to be there to say, okay, those are trees. So those are trees and they have branches, they have trunks, just here and there. Is it necessary to do so much detailing out there? Depends on what you want to show. If you don't want to show detailing, well and good, don't show detailing. But I want to show detailing, so I'm going to go on like this. Uh, do a painting with lot of detailing, do a painting with less detailing, and find out for yourself what you like. That's the best way to learn, to understand what you want. I'm being very hesitant to add depth there. I shouldn't become too bold, because if I lose control of these details, I'm going to have a lot of problem trying to create reality here. This is not absolutely realistic, but the story that we are telling has to be digestible, right? So that's exactly what I'm saying. That's exactly what I'm doing. Where I show something and that is relatable. Okay, that is. So these are branches, these are huge trunks. There is a mist out there, and through the mist, this mist is light in this place, and through the mist, I can see the uh, branches and so on and so forth. That is the focal point. Actually, that is exactly why we started doing this painting. How to create a misty feeling in the middle ground. That's going to be the background, this is the foreground. How to create a misty feeling in the middle ground and not make it dominate the whole thing. I know, for my diploma students, or they actually started doing this for the diploma students, Bridge Academy diploma students. For them, I'm, I seem to be adding more and more detail, making it more and more difficult. But don't worry, we could have done this in one go. If we were all together, we could have done this in one go. I couldn't do it because I had other things to do, and I was trying to get the video straightened out. Like it was vertical, and I wanted it to be horizontal. I was working on that, and I couldn't do that. Mm, I didn't have the software, to be exact. Uh, or else this will take about 2.5 to 3 hours to complete. Okay, one sitting we can complete this. That is how we set our clock. Okay, I'm going to finish this in one day, and one sitting would be 3 hours, 4 hours. We just set the clock. Sometimes one sitting is 5 hours. Remember, when we do the workshops, we sit for 5 hours, continuously for 5 hours and complete our work. So we do sit like that. So decide on how long you're going to be sitting and increase the detail accordingly. it looks like I'm doing a lot of detailing. Okay, it's educated, uh, what should I say, pseudo detailing. Actually, this is not true detailing, but I know how to get a feeling of trees and trunks and those things out there in that distance without actually painting them, you know. Okay, then we wash it off a little bit at the edge. These are techniques that masters do. I have seen masters' works, and I've seen critics write about masters' works, and I have tried copying masters' work and failed and succeeded. So whenever I succeeded, I realized that the masters start a work, do it fast. Okay, let go. After a while, they come back and see what has been done, and then start adding to it. Then start adding to it, so that during that time they do a lot of correcting, erasing, and all those things are done. We think that masters will be just doing that, one go, they don't retouch anything. No, it's not true. It's not true. The masters, even in watercolors, like I follow one particular master named Winslow Homer. I follow him a lot. Uh, he has used sandpaper on the water surface. While he's painting, he has painted an area. I don't know if he planned to use the sandpaper and did it in one go, and then came back and used the sandpaper to get the reflection. The reflection. I have posted that in my channel, I think, or it might be in my Facebook page. If you are interested, you can go and see there. Uh, so masters don't fear a medium. Don't fear a medium. They don't fear at all. What they try to do is, I want this effect. Okay, I'm not able to get it because it's too wet. I can't do it now. I'll do it later. And then they come back. They come back to it and manipulate to get the effect that they want without being lazy, without fearing that it might be overdone. If it is overdone, they can always erase it. You know, as my conversation is as if I'm just having a conversation with myself. Maybe yes. See, that is a technique. If you don't like it, don't do it. If you like it, do it. But try it out once. These are not something that I invented, or these are not trademark techniques. Masters have done it. Masters have done it. And if you see those paintings, their paintings now, you will see that that is how they have achieved their effect. There are people who say you should not do this. There are people who say this is not art. Uh, we decide on what we want to do, and we decide what is art for us. Okay, but if you want to be a seller, then you do what the uh, market wants. If that's what you want to do. I don't do it because I don't. I'd rather be a teacher than an artist who sells. Uh, okay, so that spot. See how that effect has come out. Huh? Okay, what I'm going to do is I think I'm going to take a photograph of that area. Okay, stop.